Jurassic World Dominion is the new film hitting theaters this past weekend. It is the third film of the Jurassic World trilogy and is the sixth and promoted to be as the final film of the sixth film Jurassic Park / Jurassic World franchise. Back to direct after taking a break after the second film. Back from directing from the first film, Colin Trevorrow returns as a director, co-writer, and producer. The film stars back from the Jurassic World franchise, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Isabel Sermon, B.D. Wong, Omar Sy, Justice Smith, and Danielle Pineda. It has characters from the original films, Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum. It has new cast members with Demanda Wise. I'm sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, Mamoudou Afi. This film is about 4 years after the destruction of Isla Nublar, so 4 years after Fallen Kingdom. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside, are now living together, co-creating together. Humans and dinosaurs are learning to coexist. But everyone wants to track down Blue, one of the velociraptors from the first two Jurassic World films. She has a kid, and she gets captured, and then Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard took a kid named Mace Lockwood, who was a clone from the last film. And so Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard need to go after her. At the same time, the original cast with Sam Neill and Laura Dern, they want to help out the society as the food chain seems to be not working out well for the humans. So they need to figure out what is up, and they all converge together towards the third act. This film is 2 hours and 26 minutes and is PG-13. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here on Max. We're talking about Jurassic World Dominion. If you're new to the channel, please like the video. That is the best way to support this channel. It really helps the algorithms. So so more people will be recommended for this review. Comment down below. Let me know, what are your thoughts of the franchise? What is your ranking of the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise? Is this your favorite? Is one of your favorites, least favorites of the franchise? Let me know what your expectations were. Also, are you gonna check this one out in theaters, or are you kind of done with this franchise and just gonna wait for it to come on a streaming service? And please subscribe and ring the bell if you're new to the channel. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every Monday. So please subscribe and ring that bell. So my expectations, then my positives, my negatives, and then my score. So my expectations were actually, this has been such a weird franchise for me, because I am someone who believes that this could be one of the top franchises from a plot, character, not money, just one of the top franchises out there. But again, this franchise has really struggled, obviously, since the original, which is an all-time classic film, one of, if not the best film from Steven Spielberg. And so actually the last 2 nights I rewatched the Jurassic World film. So Friday night I watched Jurassic World 1. Last night I watched Fallen Kingdom leading into this film, just to get me recouped. I have fun with Jurassic World. It's an easy watch for me. I don't think it's anything great, but I think it's a fun, easy to watch blockbuster film. I think Fallen Kingdom goes way off the rails really quickly. And I don't think this movie gets back on the track much closer at all, even to the first Jurassic World, which is not even close to being a great movie. But my expectations were kind of high. I was kind of liking the trailers, like that Trevorrow was coming back to direct. And it's the original cast coming back. So it's hard not to get excited when you get to see Alan Grant, Ellie Sadler, and Ian Malcolm all return, with Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, and Laura Dern all coming back for this film to combine with our new cast of Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. That all works dandy for me in the trailers. And there was an idea here that I think could have made for a actually pretty great film, or not a great film, but a really solid movie, and probably the best since the original, which is the idea that dinosaurs and humans live together. That was another thing that I was really excited for. Could they make that like a Planet of the Apes situation in a good way? So let's get into it. So let's go my positives, then my negatives. So my positives with the film is that the cast is still, these are very likable, easy to watch actors. But again, it really comes down to the original cast for me. I think Jeff Goldblum is very funny, even though at times it does not seem like he cares that much about the movie. He is not in the film nearly as much as I thought, because the main two plot lines are Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, but the other main plot line is really just Laura Dern and Sam Neill. So first of all, I love Sam Neill and Laura Dern have fantastic chemistry. And the only one with a real arc, maybe in the whole film, not even an arc, just a motivation for the whole film, is Ellie Sadler. She's moved on with her life. She's divorced. She has her kids, but she kind of wants to fix this problem that's going on. And her and Sam Neill still to this day, even this movie, have great chemistry. And if you have that much nostalgia, like a lot of us do for the original film, you will have nostalgia for sure seeing Laura Dern and Sam Neill have plentiful of scenes together, which are great. I am a big Chris Pratt guy. This is one of my probably my least favorite stuff from him in the franchise, but I still enjoy watching him and Bryce Dallas Howard, even though I do think their chemistry was not as good as the previous two films. But so these are just very easy to watch actors. The actual practical effects they have some now with the puppeteers, with the dinosaurs, do come off really good. And the actual creations of the dinosaurs, all of that stuff looks really good. There's a couple nice little action scenes. Especially there's one in a, I don't know how to describe it, like a dungeon area, I guess, involving Samuel and Laura Dern, and I thought was quite fun. And I do think the last 20 minutes are fun enough to watch at the end of the day. Michael Giacchino's score continues to be really good for this franchise. And again, it's just good to see the old cast kind of return. Now, as you see me, I'll probably sprinkle some of my other positives in the negatives, but I just want to get to, this movie has tons of problems. Now, I'm not going to be here to say that this is the worst movie of the franchise, because I actually think that this is a step above Fallen Kingdom, but I still don't even think it reaches the okay or goodness of Jurassic World. Like, I'm not like a person, I guess kind of a defender of the first Jurassic World. I find it to be an easy, fun watching blockbuster film. But I think Fallen Kingdom went too off the rails. And as I said earlier, I don't think this film brings it back to simplicity. This movie, what made the original so good is the simplicity of the movie, which is we have these great characters. When you have Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum and the kids, and you have Samuel L. Jackson and Hammond, and you have all these easy characters, but the main key is the simplicity of the story. You care about the characters. There's not as many action scenes because the film is way more terrifying. In every action scene, you feel like the characters are in danger. You don't feel that whatsoever during this entire movie. You feel like the plot armor is over every single main good character in the entire film. There's a car crash, there's plane crashes. Most of our characters come up with no marks, no bruises. They're perfectly okay. The line, this movie strains so much credibility. It is sometimes laughably bad how, for example, there's a plane crash in the movie with multiple characters. One character takes a parachute, but that character kind of has a bruise because she took a parachute. I don't know how that happens. And then the other two characters who actually go in the plane crash, they are literally, perfectly okay. They do so many action scenes with the same characters over and over again that you just know that they're going to get out of the situation because it's the fifth time. There's like 5 sequences where Chris Pratt is getting chased by something, and you're kind of like, okay, we get it. He'll get out of him. He's a Marine guy. At this point, he'll get out of it. That's a character that I actually really liked in the first film. It wasn't just Chris Pratt. It was a cool character how Owen Grady in the first Jurassic World trained the raptors, really treats the dinosaurs like they're animals compared to anyone else in that entire movie. And he seems like this cool animal helper type character. And then starting with Fallen Kingdom, and I think even more in this film, he's kind of just whatever. I mean, he has a relationship with Blue, but Blue's not in the movie that much. So when Blue's not in the movie that much, there's kind of nothing for Owen to do. Owen and Claire have no character arc whatsoever. Their whole goal is just to go after Maisie, and they're supposed to be the main characters of the movie. Again, really feels like no one has a character arc in the entire movie, or even a character arc in the whole Jurassic World trilogy from Owen or Claire. They just feel like the same people every movie. And that's coming from someone like me who loves Chris Pratt. And I do see Chris Pratt as this A-list action star, but this is a franchise where this is the least funny. I don't think I laughed at anything Chris Pratt said in the entire film, which was weird. This film doesn't go for nearly as many jokes as it probably should be for how ridiculous the film is. So that I was definitely disappointed with. I think the movie desperately needed more Jeff Goldblum, because at least when he was on screen, the film was at least funny to watch. Because I feel like Jeff Goldblum's character was like one of the fans who's like, is this really happening? Like he literally asked Chris Pratt in the movie, are you talking to dinosaurs? And it's kind of funny. But for the people who are liking the movie, I would love to know why you think that's funny, because it feels like Ian Malcolm's character is just making fun of everything that's going on. Once again, as I said, from a plot and trailer point of view, if you were expecting dinosaurs and humans to be one of the main stories of the movie, it's not about that whatsoever. It's maybe about that for the first 20, 25 minutes of the movie. And then it goes to another bad scientist who's pretending that he's played by Campbell Scott, who is pretending that he has a sanctuary for dinosaurs, but he's doing some shady things. I know a lot of people say, well, I would rather see this movie in a park than seeing another movie where we think we're going out of the park to do something unique, but we're not. This movie, once again, does the usual Jurassic Park sequel-itis thing, which is we have our characters, let's have the dinosaurs. Actually, before we get the dinosaurs interacting with humans, let's have more bad guy scientists to go after. It's just so boring. Some of the acting, I'm just going to be honest, the Campbell Scott, who I know I've seen other stuff, and he might be a good actor, but he was really bad in this movie, really from start to finish as this scientist. Why Henry Wu continues to show up and still works for big companies doesn't make a lot of sense. And that's what I actually liked, about the first Jurassic World, which was, yes, even though, yes, we're back at the park, I like the idea that, yes, the T-Rexes are kind of getting old in the new century. It's been decades since the original Jurassic Park. People want to see something different. So that's why they did the Indominus Rex. Cool villain, probably the coolest dinosaur in the entire trilogy. But now after that film, the park gets destroyed, we're still making multi-breed dinosaurs. And in this film, the cloning storyline, if you hated the cloning stuff in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, you're going to hate it even more, because the movie wants to explain so badly why this kid is so important, why Blue is so important, and why cloning is so important to this plot. It is ridiculous. Sometimes it retcons storylines from Fallen Kingdom, even though these are the exact same writers from the last movie. It's just it's a mess of a movie for sure, because you just feel like no one's in danger. It's not that scary, and no one has a character arc from start to finish. So while it's a very watchable, it's not one of the worst movies of the year. I don't think it's even the worst film that this franchise has offered. I do think it's better than Fallen Kingdom, just because I feel like the action scenes are much better in this film than Fallen Kingdom. It just isn't a good movie. And I feel like that wrapping up a 6-movie franchise, bringing back the original cast, got me excited that maybe they would come back to form with a simple plot line. But this movie does go with the Fallen Kingdom logic, which is just more complicated, more science, more cloning. And I don't think any fans really wanted that. And certainly I did not want that. So I'm going to give Jurassic World Dominion a 2 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go 40%. I'll go actually 38%. Let's go 40. Let's go 40. 40% for Jurassic World Dominion. I might change that in my head later, but as of now, 40% for Jurassic World. Tons of problems. It's definitely watchable in parts. I was never bored through this 2.5-hour movie from start to finish, but while I was not bored, I certainly wasn't completely enjoying myself either. So that's my thoughts on this Jurassic World film. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. My upcoming videos tomorrow, we have a box office breakdown show with including some big numbers coming in for Jurassic World Dominion. Wednesday, reviews of both Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel, their new episodes. Before even Wednesday, I'll have my Barry season 3 review. And then Friday, you'll have my review of the new Pixar film Lightyear. So that's all the things coming down the channel. So ring that bell so you see what's next.